Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to take you along as I cook for my family of 4 in our homestead and talk a little bit about my role as a wife and mom. Really enjoying summertime. We are seeing a lot of blooms. We have a big tomato patch in our backyard that's finally coming to life. It's been taking a long time. I'm starting to feel the little itch to get excited for fall because I love fall, but I'm trying to still savor all the summer moments because I know when fall comes around, I'm gonna be, or not fall, but winter. When winter gets here, we'll be really missing all of this outdoor time. On this day, I'm trying to prepare a dinner and I really wanted to make a pasta because I had some frozen cod in the freezer. This was kind of the last day of the week and we were really low on food. So I had to look in the freezer and I had some frozen cod. I had some parsley, some lemon. Of course, I had bone broth. I wanted to make a pasta, but we didn't have pasta. I thought, well, I could make pasta, and I almost didn't because I know how much work it is to make pasta, but I really didn't have another option, and I decided to make it and make it fun. So this is an einkorn pasta. It's 4 cups einkorn flour and 4 eggs. You can use a stand-up mixer for this, which I probably should have done because this ended up taking a lot longer than I thought to get the dough just to come together. While I'm letting the dough sit a little bit, that's really important to do whenever you're using einkorn flour so that it can absorb all the moisture. I'm gonna chop up vegetables. Vegetables are one thing that we have a lot of right now because we do a CSA pickup where we get a lot of fresh vegetables every week. Sometimes I struggle to use them because I have so many. It's very similar to if you have a homestead and you have a huge garden where you get a whole bunch of veggies at one time. And this is a really beautiful blessing as a homemaker and a homesteader, if you will. But it can also be a little bit stressful because sometimes you have to use the vegetables quickly so that they don't go bad. So I've gotten better at this over the years. This is our 3rd year doing the CSA pickup, and I've learned, when the vegetables come, when the zucchinis come, when the tomatoes come, and I'm more prepared on how to use them now. So in a skillet here, I'm getting some butter going, chopped garlic, and I'm putting my cod fillets in. I'm brushing them with olive oil and seasoning them with a Kinder's fish seasoning, adding some fresh lemon and parsley. For the vegetables, I did chopped zucchini and some mushrooms that I got from the grocery store. I'm trying a new method of pasta making today by flattening out the pasta dough and then rolling it up and then cutting it and then rolling it out. So you'll see me do that whole process here, but basically I was trying to avoid using the pasta attachment on my KitchenAid because I just don't find that it works that well. I also think it takes a long time for the amount of work it is, and after doing it this way, this is going to be my new preferred way to do it because I find this easier and I find that it works better. Extra bonus points for the fact that my daughter could help me unroll the pasta. This pasta was so delicious. Everyone in my family who I served it to would not stop raving about it and they wanted more. In the cast iron, I have a nice mixture of broth, lemon, butter. I love this. You've seen me make this before on this channel when I make clams. Very nice fish sauce that everybody loves. Taking a quick break from today's What We Eat in a Week video to talk about the sponsor, which is Ben Soap Company. When I am washing dishes so much during the day, it's important that I have a soap that is not only good for my dishes, but also good for my skin. Your skin is the largest organ in your body, so whatever soap you're using on it, whether it's in the shower, washing dishes, etc., is going in. And so it's important to be mindful of what the ingredients are in your soap. A lot of commercial and store-bought dish soaps are highly toxic with fragrances, artificial colors, ingredients, and other chemicals, toxins, other ingredients like that. Ben Soap Company makes goat's milk soap that is gentle on the skin and tough on dishes. They make their soap originally for children actually, because they have had so many cases of their farm-raised goat's milk soap solving eczema on children's skin. I can actually be a testimony for this as well. My little baby had a little tiny patch of eczema and this soap did in fact solve it. Goat's milk soap helps your skin become more hydrated, soft, healthy, and looking good. Every soap bar is made with raw goat's milk and pure, sustainably sourced, all-natural ingredients to provide your skin with critical vitamins and nutrients with every use. One single bar of goat's milk soap can be used for an all-natural body wash, hand wash, face wash, shampoo, dishwash, and even a shaving cream. We use our goat's milk soap for washing dishes, bathing our kids, and shaving in the shower. I have also been using their all-natural deodorant, which I have really been loving. It's very moisturizing on the skin. Sometimes stick deodorants can, in my opinion at least, be kind of painful to put on as a deodorant and cause a little bit of a rash, but this one is very soft and goes on smoothly. If you are looking to swap out your chemical soaps for dishwashing or bathing, now is a great time. Ben Soap has given me a discount code to share with you. You can use the code HOMESTEAD10 for 10% off your first order of all-natural goat's milk soap. I'm going to talk a little bit about being a wife and mom in today's day and age. I feel like the word feminism and the word trad wife, which is, I guess that's two words, have been floating around a lot in today's world. Now, I can't speak for other generations, but I do think that the role of a woman or a woman's life has evolved over time. Obviously, women used to be known for just being at home, taking care of the kids, and women did not work at one time, and then eventually they did. So the rights and roles of a woman has evolved over a very long time, or have they? So that's kind of what I'm gonna be talking about. I got a comment on one of my YouTube videos, and I'll be honest, I get a lot of really nice comments. Everyone who watches my videos usually agrees with what I'm saying, and I don't think I'm very controversial, but people generally like to see cooking, and they like to see homemaking and family. And I got a comment that someone said, "You trad wife, blah, blah, blah." And that was the second time I had heard the word or the phrase trad wife. I heard it once before from another YouTuber, and I had to look it up because I didn't know what that meant. Apparently, trad wife is someone in today's day and age who encompasses and embodies a traditional wife role of someone who cooks, cleans, takes care of the kids. And I find this really ironic because if you have children or a home, then someone has to clean the home and take care of the kids. You don't have to cook. I guess you could go out every meal, or if you're working out of the house, then you're not cooking, right? So cooking is kind of optional depending on your circumstances. But I'd say most people like to have children, and if you have children, someone has to take care of them. So the people who kind of make fun of trad wives in today's day and age, I kind of wonder, they must not have kids, because if you have kids, someone has to take care of them. And so a mom staying home to take care of her kids is, I wouldn't really call that traditional. I would call that necessary, and I'd call that completely normal. I don't know why there's a phrase about trad wives. It might be just because there's a social media aspect to that. You see TikTok or Instagram reels of women who are wearing old-fashioned dresses and aprons and making it look like they're in the 50s or something like that. I don't know. To that, I would say those people are just trying to create content to get views. And that can be fine. There's nothing really wrong with that. If you like to wear dresses, I wear dresses and aprons because it's functional. If I don't wear an apron, I destroy my dress and then I have to wash it every single day. I think that it is a beautiful thing to be a woman. I'm someone who believes that women can be beautiful without being sexualized. I think women can be successful without being CEOs who are never home with their kids. I think women can be strong and make choices while still staying in the home. Just because you're staying in the home, cooking and taking care of children doesn't mean you are suppressed or like a slave. I feel like there's like this idea that women are somewhat like slave at home. Being a keeper of the home and the parent to the children most of the day while a husband is at work is just a role. It's really not a big deal. I don't know why people make such a big deal out of it. My husband is working all day. He earns a paycheck so that we can afford food. That's not that big of a deal either. That's just a role. Everyone has something that they do every single day. And if you don't have purpose in your life, then I feel really sorry for you. I don't know about you, but I don't want to live my life free of worry and things that need to be done. I don't want to have a whole bunch of money and sit around and what am I going to do at that time? I don't know, watch TV. That does not appeal to me whatsoever. I used to be a CPA. So I have a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and a CPA license. So I have lived the corporate life completely. I used to work 60 hours a week. I worked with really high level people, working with a lot of money. I made really, really good money when I did that as well. And let me tell you, if you are someone who is maybe in their early 20s and they're trying to figure out, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna be a mom? Should I pursue a career? Are those the same thing? Can I do both? I will just tell you my perspective, which is that I've never felt like I've had as much purpose as I do now as a stay-at-home mom. When you have kids who are your favorite people of all time, there's no one better than your children. They give you purpose. It means that they give you things to do all day, every day. You will never be bored. I think where we lack as a society is the initiative and the mental toughness, or you could call it grit, whether you're male or female. I think that that's what's lacking in society. If you are a stay-at-home mom and you feel sorry for yourself and you're bored and you don't like cleaning up the messes, I think maybe what you need is a little bit more grit. You need to be able to handle hard things. There's an Instagrammer, her name is M is for Mama. You may have heard of her if you watch my channel too, but she wrote a book that's called Hard. It's not the same thing as bad. And I think she coined that phrase. I don't know if she coined it or someone else, but it's a beautiful phrase that says, just because something is hard doesn't mean that it is bad. Being a mom can be very hard. I have days where things go really well and it's just a breeze and it's a beautiful day. And it's kind of like the YouTube video you're watching where everything is super smooth and curated and going well. I also have days where nothing goes well, so it seems, and I am the one that takes care of it. But in those moments, I don't think to myself, I'm a victim. Society made me this. Society is making it so I can't go to work. Help me. This is not fun. And if your brain does start to go that direction, I would lead you toward the Bible and you can learn about what hard work is. Because if you don't want to do hard work, you're not going to get the benefits. My husband always says, you want to play simple games, you get simple prizes. You want to play hard games, you get excellent prizes. And that's just to say that when you pour your life into something and you are willing to withstand the difficulties of it, you're going to get the benefits of it. God has a way of giving that to you. He has a plan for all of us, but he never said that it's going to be easy all of the time. And if you think that it's hard and then suddenly you're blaming God for that and you think that something is wrong, that is the wrong mentality. Have you ever noticed that no matter how old you are, you always feel like things are so hard right now and you hope that they get better soon? I felt that way when I was in middle school, and then I felt that in high school, and then I felt it in college, and it was always like, what is the next thing that's going to make my life better and easier? And to some degree, you do take big steps in life. For example, I can't wait to graduate college so I can get a job. That is a really big step. And when you get a job and you get a paycheck, then your life will be a little bit easier. That is true. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's gonna be new challenges when you take that next step. Or maybe it's, I just can't wait to get married, or I can't wait to have kids. And that is true. When you have kids, your life becomes better. But there are also new challenges. Or maybe it's, I can't wait to retire. So no matter what stage you're in, you're always going to have enough challenges on your plate to feel just that your cup is somewhat full. And if you don't, you will find ways to fill your cup up and fill your time up. That is why I think that being a mom, a wife, a homemaker, is actually a huge blessing, because I know so many people who would absolutely love to do that, including myself back when I was in a corporate office staring out the window, seeing nothing but sky rises. I remember thinking I would just do anything right now to be able to clean up the mess of little kids. I didn't even have kids at that time, but I remember thinking to myself, I don't care what I was doing, laundry, I would just kill to do that right now. So this is my encouragement to you to continue to be positive. Don't be scared of things that are hard, and know that whatever phase of life you're in, these are the good times. You always look back and say, that time was so easy, those were the good times. Well, you're in the good times right now. So appreciate where you are and keep working hard. Don't be scared of hard work, because then you won't get the benefit and the reward of doing so. My daughter and I went and picked the blackberries, which are now ripe in our area, and immediately turned them into blackberry jam. Just put the berries with some honey in a saucepan and let them simmer for a while until they reduce down to the thickness of jam. For today's lunch, I had a couple chicken breasts that I'm gonna butterfly, make them really thin, and then cut them into chunks. I like cutting chicken into chunks like this because it will cook faster. If you cook a whole breast, it will take longer. I struggle personally with getting the middle to cook properly, so I like cooking them into chunks. I'm gonna marinate them with some parsley, salt, garlic, and onion powder and let them sit. Then I'll cook them on the cast iron in some butter. I'm gonna be making a creamy white sauce with milk, cream, garlic, parsley, and some einkorn flour and butter, whisking that up and serving it over the chicken and some rice. Getting the bone broth strained out because I had a bad cold this week and soup just sounded so good. As a mom, I realize that sometimes I forget to take care of myself, and I'm not the kind of person who says self-care this, self-care that, like I need to take baths and I need to do manicures and pedicures. I really don't do a whole lot. I do work out though. That is probably the one thing I do that is self-care. But I do tend to forget that if I'm sick, I need to treat myself like I would another member of my family and make soup and do essential oils and do all the things, because I forget to do that for myself sometimes. So this soup was, of course, for everybody, but it was my request because I really wanted a nice soup for my cold to get better. This recipe is just carrots, celery, onion, garlic, chicken, bone broth. I put a bay leaf in there as well as a lot of salt and some pepper. At the end of simmering this, I add apple cider vinegar, and I cook the pasta in a separate pot so that I add it to the soup while it's al dente, as opposed to it simmering in the bone broth and getting too soft. Topping it with Parmesan cheese for a delicious meal. This morning I'm making sourdough English muffins. I used to make these all the time and they just kind of got lost in the rotation, so I'm excited to bring them back. The homemade blackberry jam was the perfect addition for the sourdough English muffins with some fried eggs on the side. Lastly, we bought another box of clams this week, and so we're making a new recipe with the clams. We've been doing a nice butter, lemon, garlic sauce, but now I'm gonna try a red sauce with them. So I made some spaghetti and I put a red sauce with that, and I roasted zucchini on the side with mushrooms. So the red sauce is gonna be bone broths, zucchini, mushrooms, and red sauce, and that will go with the clams, and it was very delicious. Well, thank you for joining me for another What We Eat in a Week video. I hope this gave you some meal inspiration as you're enjoying the summertime food. If you're brand new to my channel, thank you so much for joining. Please hit that subscribe button and join me every week for a new farm-to-table recipe or homemade natural living. I will leave links below this video to some of the recipes you saw me cooking. Thank you so much to Ben's Soap Company. Make sure you use the code Homestead10 for 10% off your first order of natural goat's milk soap. Thank you so much for stopping by the Duvall Homestead.